This was a question on my clay sand mortar, and the question says, you know, Matt, you often talk about adding wood ash to the mortar to give it a little more plasticity, to give it a little bit more of a setting mortar type properties, and how much of that wood ash do you add? And so that's a great question, and you know, in the same question that the person who wrote that to me said, you know, typically I've seen this done with lime mortar mixes, and we typically say like 5%, and I would say that's a pretty good number, average middle of the road number. So if we're looking at, like, you know, I say 3-to-1 sand to clay by dry volume. So if you had, you know, a cup and you were using that cup and you put in 3 sands and 1 clay, and you want 5%, that means you know each cup is 25%, so 1/5 of a cup of ash to your mix, and that seems about right to me. So what I will say about doing that is you really want to run the ash through a sieve first, screen it so you get any chunks out, because that's one of the worst, one of the best parts about using powdered fire clay and powdered sand is you don't have any chunks or you know, things to hold the bricks up. And as soon as you mix in wood ash, you'll pretty much instantly get little coals and things in there that'll kind of screw up your joints. So do screen it really well. Try and just get the white fluffy fly ash. That's really the stuff you want. I think that's got the potash and the other active ingredients in there. Once you've screened it, then you will want to add that at about that 5%. And that should get you a pretty darn good mix. Now, like I said, I do say 1 to 3 by dry volume for that mortar. That's a little bit variable as well. It really depends on your sand. Anywhere from 2.5 to 3, but typically 1 to 3. I like to have them a little bit sandier. It makes them a little bit easier to work with, a little bit easier to break down. They tend to be a little stiffer, but you'll want to play with that and see what you prefer, I guess. So there you go.